not exactly.
Well, I guess it's time to make another one. What up, ladies and gentlemen? Chen Chen here, bringing you guys another video. Today I am here really excited to announce another tier list for you guys. You guys saw how well the last tier list did, so we're gonna run another one for you guys. Today we're gonna do the hottest League of Legends guys. Yes, I know. Alright, let's get started. Ha! You thought. Alright, we're actually going to do something that is related to Vladimir, because obviously I am a Vlad main, and that's what I can put forth my input on. So, I really brainstormed what other possible thing I could do about Vladimir, and I feel as if this is pretty relevant. We're going to be doing junglers today, so obviously last video was about Vladimir matchups, like whenever you're laning against. For here, I just put every champion that is not a jungler or just not conventionally a jungler. So I got majority of the junglers here, I believe. Like some of these you can probably put jungle, but just kind of to troll. These are the more conventional meta junglers that we will be doing. So why jungle, you might ask? Well, to put it in simple terms, especially in Vlad mid, you're gonna get pretty much ganked at least once every game. And in some games, you're gonna get ganked like 20 times. So knowing what champion is better or worse for Vladimir is pretty crucial. So I have worst. So these are the junglers that potentially, if you're not really comfortable against dealing, you might want to dodge. We got hard, medium, okay, and free low. Junglers that are just super easy, and you should honestly welcome them to come to your lane. That's how free they are. So keep in mind, guys, I didn't really mention this. I kind of wrote it out in the beginning. This is strictly my opinion. If you're a Vlad main or just player in general and have different views, definitely you can comment them down, or all I'm trying to say is, like, don't hate on my opinion. These are strictly just what I believe in, and personally from my experience of multiple thousands of games with Vladimir, it's just my experience. Alright, we're gonna jump straight into the video. If you enjoy these type of videos where I make tier list, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to your channel if you are new, comment down what type of tier list I should do next, and turn my notifications on. Let's just get right into it, guys. Alright, starting off, we are kind of just gonna do order, to be honest. Amumu, this is pretty free low, honestly. Like, this is just so free. His bandage toss, super slow, so you can easily pull, and you can also pull his stun as well. An Amumu gank should almost 99% never work out unless you waste your pool. So, super easy jungler. You can also kill him as well. If he goes AP, you can one-shot him easily. If he goes tank, it's a bit harder. Like, he has a lot more damage output, which is crazy. Like, if he goes tank, he has more damage output. That's just such a stupid statement to say, but that's just kind of how tanks go. Uh, if he goes AP, though, super, super easy. Alright, we got Camille jungle. I know this isn't the most conventional, but I've seen it a couple times, and it's actually really frustrating to lane against, or to face against, per se. By the way, guys, this tier list, it's gonna be more in the generalistics, rather than, like, considering early or late game. It's just gonna consider how the champion interacts with Vladimir. So, Camille is definitely a medium. Her ganks are a bit more fast paced, I would say, and she, especially if she gets her level 6, her R, it does set up for some nasty combos. Moving right along, Diana, this champ sucks dick to lane against, and it actually sucks dick to face against as well. I'm gonna put it at medium. She has a lot of burst potential, and if she ganks you, like, her gank is pretty strong. She doesn't really have to land her Q, because if she is ganking you, she's expecting to dash regardless, so she's gonna use her E, gonna use her R, In terms of a 1v2 situation, it's just so much fucking damage, and you're probably gonna die from it, so definitely medium. Echo, get this champion out of here. I despise this champion facing him mid lane, and I despise him even more facing him jungle. That is actually why I permaban him, because he can be flexed either jungle or mid. In my personal opinion, I struggle 20 times more against Zoe, but because this champion can get flex in both lanes or roles, I definitely prefer to permaban him, and I will probably never see him played for a couple year or two until my hatred for him, you know, kind of disappears. It's just it brings me PTSD of him just one-shotting my team and then pressing R to be full HP. It's ridiculous. Elise, I'm gonna put at a hard. You're gonna see a really quick pattern that early game junglers are gonna be at the worst and hard because they just hard abuse Vladimir's weakness, which is early game. And especially junglers that can just perma gank, they literally sit on top of your lane and don't leave. Those are definitely the hardest of junglers to deal with. So Elise, definitely hard. Her ganks are super quick, super, I don't know how to describe it. She goes in, she goes out. Super bursty, I guess. And she has so much potential to dodge your burst, especially with her repel, where she just goes into the air. Really hard to kill her, and she has great setup as well, so definitely hard. Evelyn, this is probably going to be put into a medium. Her ganks are decent. I mean, you can pull her charm. Late game, she gets a bit more tricky, but you can probably burst her down, and even if she press R, if you have your R on top of her, you can kill her. I'm just going to put her in medium because she is extremely meta right now, and her ganks are pretty strong, not going to lie, especially if you waste your pool. She can definitely one-shot you. Alright, honestly, I haven't faced too much of the reworked fiddle, but from what I have faced, it's an okay matchup. Like, I don't have too much of a ruling against this. You burst him down super quickly before he can even dream of touching you. Granted, if he does get a very good flank position with his arm, it's gonna hurt. So, just be careful, ward around, and you can play against Fiddle easily. Alright, Gregus, I'm gonna put it at an okay as well. I would put it at a Freelo. He's kind of in between, but personally, his burst is just ridiculous. So if you don't dodge his belly smash, whatever it's called, I believe that's his E, his full burst will pretty much hit you because it acts like a micro stun, and you can't pull his. After you get hit by his belly dash, you can't pull it for a specific period of time where he can just unleash his full burst combo and do a pretty decent amount of damage. But if you dodge his belly dash, you can one-shot him. That's why I'm gonna put him at the okay. Alright, Graves, this is probably one of the worst, and I'm gonna explain why, alright? First off, Graves is super in the meta, and they keep on doing mini buffs for him that he just played so much, and for a good reason as well. It's because he's super strong. If he builds lifesteal with some MR, late game, yeah, you're not killing him. And he will literally two-shot you. It's ridiculous. This champ is super annoying, and if I had two bans, I honestly would ban him to guarantee no one would play him. Like, I swear, whenever I get a Graves, hardens. Whenever enemy get a Graves, he 1v9s. Especially with Phase Rush now, he just zooms, he heals, he lifesteals with Bloodthirster, and he did so much damage. Alright, Hecarim. This is a pretty medium matchup as well. You can pull whenever he E's or whenever he is close to his Stampede or his charge. His R is a little bit more tricky, but you can also pull that if you save your pool. Overall, not the hardest. He is pretty tanky though, so you do have to be cautious. Always against these type of tanky junglers, they're gonna have a lot of damage, so you gotta be careful and gotta space properly. But as long as you do that, shouldn't be the hardest jungler in the world. Ivern, this champion is fucking dead. Free low. Alright, if I'm being completely honest, He's probably not Freelo. Like, I've seen some really good Iverns who just completely, like, shield your damage. So, I'm gonna put it at okay, but just kind of for the meme, he's Freelo. Yeah, his shield is definitely pretty annoying for Vladimir. Vlad is just trying to one-shot, get the hell out, and with Ivern, it's pretty hard. Now, granted, his ganks have a decent bit of power. I mean, if he lands his Q somehow, it's gonna kinda be successful, but overall, it's an okay matchup. Shouldn't be too hard for you guys. Alright, Jarvan, this is definitely one of the harder junglers to deal with, for sure. Especially, he's kind of in between worst and hard. That's just because, first off, every single Jarvan just hard camps mid, I swear. Because mid has these like dark areas, like I can't draw, but like mid lane is like right around here. These alleys, Jarvan just sits there for eternity and they can EQ into you from the Fog of War. And I swear every single Jarvan does that 10 times over every single game. So as Vlad, personally, I'd stay back due to the fact that it's Jarvan. It doesn't matter what matchup. Just because Jarvan has that potential to camp you and be very successful at it. Furthermore, whenever he late game, whenever he Rs, if you don't pull that shit, you're kind of stuck there. And that is not where Vlad wants to be. So, definitely a hard matchup for sure. Alright, moving on, we got Jax. So, Jax is a bit of a 50-50 really. If he's fed, he just 1v9s the game, and this is for top Jax as well, but if he's like kind of even, it's a pretty easy jungler interaction, I'd say. His ganks aren't strong at all, so we're just gonna put him at okay, but if he somehow gets fed, if you have shitty teammates, he's your worst nightmare. I guarantee you that. He just 1v9s and runs you down. It's ridiculous, so we're gonna put him okay in the instance that, hey, you have people with brains in your team, which is, it's rare, I know, but as long as they don't hard int Jax, pretty easy, not gonna lie. So, moving on, we got Karthus. Karthus is probably going to go, put him at okay. His ganks are dog shit, but his power late game, especially, is just super strong, and it really negates what you can do as Vladimir. Like, if you want to go in on the enemy team, expect that after you kill someone, Karthus is gonna be inside of your booty hole. I guarantee you that. Super annoying. He doesn't really have to land his Q either. His E just does a tremendous amount of damage late game, and his R as well. So keep your pool whenever he Rs, and not the craziest interaction in the world. We got Kane. Alright, this is also a kind of 50-50 situation. I'm going to put him at medium, though. The reason being is that if they go blue Kane, personally, I find it extremely easy because I can one-shot them in pool so they cannot R away, and they pretty much get one-shot, right? Because they're going full assassin. But if they go Conquer Kane, and they're pretty fed, dude, you cannot kill him. It's super strong. Alright, so next we got Kha'Zix. Alright, Kha'Zix is definitely going to be a okay. As long as you don't die from his early ganks towards the later parts of the game. Super free. You can one-shot him almost any stage of the game after level 6. Pre-6 though, he can obviously pretty much one-shot you with Electrocute, and obviously whoever you're laning against as well. He has a decent setup, especially with his chilling smite, so it's an okay matchup. Just survive early game. All he is that makes no sense. All he is, how the hell do I phrase this? He is just an early game champ, so just survive that and you will be okay. Moving on, we got Kindred. Kindred is also an okay matchup. I don't know really what to say about this one. I mean, you pretty much counter him. He's super easy to deal with, and whenever he uses his R, just pool when his R is about to wear off. You can EW, and kill him. It's super free. Um, Granted, his early game, like Kha'Zix, he has a decent early game gank, so just be cautious of that. Ward around, make sure he's not in any of his ambush places that he likes to be. Like, he almost always hops over the wall to gank, but obviously he can hop over a brush too, so just be very cautious early game, and then towards the later parts, super free. Alright, Lee Sin, this is a blind monk. This is going to be one of the worst junglers Vlad can deal with for obvious reasons. He has so much setup, and he's a lot of people are going to disagree with this. I think he's a bit broken, alright? I know, he takes a lot of skill, I understand that, but if you have mastered him, super, super broken kit. It's just so overloaded with everything, honestly. So early game, he can, similar to these other junglers, he can sit mid and repeat gank and pretty much just burst you down with also having a shield and a slow and gap closer and multiple gap closers actually with his Q, ward hop, just so overloaded. Um, Definitely one of the worst junglers, in my opinion, to deal with for Vlad. Now, late game, he does fall off, so you can actually deal with him, but in my experience, good Lee Sin will make you fall behind, and you can never really get back up. So, this is a very, very annoying matchup, and I dislike this matchup a lot. That's why it's at the rated worst. So, normally, whenever I see a Lee Sin on the enemy, I kind of play safe and I don't hug near walls because that's where he can land his Q. Normally, just hug around my minions, and that's kind of how you counter him, but not really. He has ways to go around that. Alright, next we got Malphite. Okay, this is a pretty medium matchup. Now, I know a lot of you guys haven't seen a Malphite jungle in a while, but in case it rises or, you know, maybe jungle changes happen and he comes back into the jungle scene, if he goes AP, if you don't pool, obviously you get one-shotted. If he goes tank, he's just pretty much unkillable and you can't really kill him, and his ganks are pretty lethal. So it's a medium, pretty medium matchup for sure. Next we got Yi. I'm gonna put this at worst just because of funnel. Just kidding. We're gonna put it at hard. If it's Yi by itself or Yi funnel, it is pretty hard. Yi funnel is horrendous for Vlad, not because Vlad sucks against it, but because towards late game you just can't do anything against it. Early game and mid game you can obviously outplay, and I've done it so many times, outplaying funnel or just outplaying Yi, but if you play it wrong, it's a very, very hard matchup. Alright, moving on, we got Wukong. Wukong jungle isn't really seen that much. I'm gonna put at okay. Vlad actually counters Wukong pretty hard. Not in the laning aspect. I feel as if you're laning against Wukong, he has just an absurd amount of damage and healing. So if you lane against Wukong, it's pretty hard. But jungle, your kit does a really good job countering him. Your pool detects him. Your R, obviously, if you R him, you can. It's very hard to explain without showing visual, but Vlad does a pretty good job countering him, especially late game. You just kind of one-shot him as long as you follow where you would think he would be after he uses clone. Nidalee is also a probably okay matchup. I would put this at okay just because her ganks suck. Like, it's so hard to find a good Nidalee. Even Nidalee one-tricks, they just suck. They can't land their spear. Granted, it's hard to land it, so I'm not, like, bashing Nidalee players, but the kit is just super hard to pull off, and against Vladimir, you can just steamroll her and pretty much one-shot her at almost all stages of the game, so it's an okay matchup. If she ganks you, it can kind of be lethal if she lands her spear, luckily. Otherwise, pretty okay matchup. Next, we got Nocturne. Nocturne is probably gonna be, it's like kind of in between. Like whenever he R's you, you can pull it easily. So with that interaction, it's really hard for Nocturne to actually play. But I've seen good Nocturnes be able to pull it off and kind of beat you, kind of just one shot you actually. So it's honestly an okay matchup though. Ganks are pretty lackluster, not the strongest ganks in the whole entire jungle scene, and there's a reason why he's not played too much. It's because of that fact. He's just kind of useless without his R, and with Vlad being able to dodge his R, you know, it's a pretty okay interaction for sure. Next we got Nunu. Alright, this is going to be a hard matchup. The reason for that is Nunu is very prone to just coming back. Like literally, whenever he has his W up again, his snowball, he just fucking circles around mid lane so many times and it's super annoying. So it's a hard matchup if they're good Nunus and just camp mid, because you obviously, it's a huge CC bot and huge setup for the enemy, and also he just doesn't die with his Q. He just heals back everything, so pretty hard matchup. Olaf is going to definitely be one of the worst matchups for Vladimir. He's similar to like Dr. Mundo in the fact that you can stun him, you can CC him, you can slow him, you can do anything, you can dash away even. They just kind of brainlessly chase you with their Q. Olaf, he has his Q, which he chases with, and Dr. Mundo has his Q, where they just kind of constantly chase you because they both have a slow within their Qs, so they're just going to brainlessly chase you. They got a shit ton of movement speed, and this interaction is really hard for Vlad, because right after you pull, he's kind of still on your ass, and he's going to Q you again and kill you. Also, I've seen so many Olafs just 1v9 the game. You cannot kill this guy, I swear. If he's fed, Vlad sucks dick against killing this guy. People complain about Vlad's healing. Look at this guy's healing, dude. You'll see this guy go from 0 HP to full HP and pentakill, I swear. It's insane. Alright, next we got Pantheon. Pantheon's not really played in the jungle, but I'm gonna put it at okay. Just because his only dash or setup is his stun, but if you're a decent Vlad player and you have decent reaction time, you should be able to predict it, pool, pretty easy. Granted, he has a good amount of damage, so you do have to be a bit cautious. If he comes from Fog of War and leaps onto you, it's gonna hurt, but overall, it's a pretty okay interaction, I would say. Alright, next we got Rammus. Rammus is going definitely be hard because his Q lasts longer than your pool. So if you try pooling him for the initial, whenever he's near you, he can continue his pursuit, and if he's lucky, he'll still be able to get his rolling ball out, whatever it's called, his Q. So he's got a lot of CC, his taunt is super annoying as well, and you obviously cannot kill him because he's tank. So overall, very hard matchup. Next, we got Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai, we're gonna put in one of the worst matchups. Reason being, his R. So pretty much he does a really good job at baiting you. With his like Q, and then whenever you pull, he can just R in and one-shot you, pretty much. He also has really good setup with his Void Portals, I guess? I don't know what it's called. I don't even know what ability it is, but it covers a lot of ground, which makes him a really good jungler. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. It's a she. My bad. So sorry, guys. It allows her to cover a lot of ground, and her knockup is obviously extremely annoying because you can't pull unless you have insane reaction time. But overall, she can just repeat gank similar to these other junglers. She's a really early game jungler, and she also doesn't really fall off too hard in the late game. So definitely one of the worst jungler interactions, I would say. Alright, Rengar, this is going to be a medium interaction. If he engages onto you and you don't expect it, he'll one-shot you. But if you pull his R, you pretty much just win the trade. So the only reason why I'm putting it at medium is it's because whoever like sees each other first, or whoever anticipates, whoever, what am I even saying? Holy shit. Whoever goes in first pretty much will win the fight. So medium matchup overall. Sejuani, this champion is dead. Haven't seen this champ in so long. If I recall correctly, it's probably an okay matchup. You can dodge her shit so easily. It's super easy to anticipate where she's going, her pathing, um, her R as well you can pull. Overall, very okay type matchup. And she doesn't even have that much damage compared to other broken tanks like um, Jarvan kind of goes tank like Nunu, Rammus. They're all similar in the fact that they're CC bots. They provide CC, but she also lacks just so much damage. So overall, it's an okay interaction. Moving on, we got Shaco. Shaco is probably going to be at the medium. This reasoning is because Shaco ganks, obviously, you can't ward for them. And whenever they gank you, they're gonna do a good amount of damage before you use your pool. Because most of the time you use pool, you don't like want to use it directly on his face. You kind of want to proc phase rush first, and then you use pool. He's gonna be able to get like an auto at least with his Q empowered damage. So overall, he's gonna chunk you, and if he does that multiple times, you're gonna die. And his R, his clone, if you activate it, it's gonna do a shit ton of damage. So overall, pretty medium. You can kill him, just don't attack his clone, I guess. Alright, Shyvana. Shyvana is mostly played AP, so I'm gonna rate her on an AP scale. She's a pretty okay matchup. Um, I misplayed this so many times where I try to like bait her out, but she can kill you. AP Shyvana does a ridiculous amount of damage. Don't underestimate it. But as long as you engage onto her, she really has no way of escaping, and you can kill her easily before she one-shots you pretty much. Alright, we got Skarner. I haven't seen this champion played in so long. Probably okay, honestly. If he suppresses you with his R, you can kind of see where problems might arise. Skarners who just flash R, it's pretty hard to dodge, and you know, you might die. It's like a Malzahar R where you just can't really do anything unless you're crazy and you buy QSS on Vlad like a madman, but overall it's an okay matchup. In general, weak ass ganks. You should never really die to his ganks until he's level 6 and maybe he flashes onto you to engage. That's about it for that one. Alright, Silas Jungle. Whoops. Just like in the mid lane, this champion sucks dick. We're gonna put him in the medium. I'm not kidding. Like, I'm not kidding. This champion really does suck dick. He has like a 47% win rate, but his kit is literally so perfect to counter Vladimir. So, in the jungle, it's the same thing as mid. You're gonna face him in the same way. In terms of ganking, he doesn't have the greatest gank, but he can obviously EW instead of EE and trying to land his second dash. He can just EW to literally be on top of you. So, just kind of be cautious, pull his dash, and you should be alright. It's medium because he just has so much damage he pulls out of his ass. And then he presses W to heal full HP. It's ridiculous. Alright, next we got Talia. Talia is an okay matchup. I would say if you allow her to set up properly in the way that she wants to, she's gonna deal a lot of damage, but if she missteps, you can one-shot her easily. So I'd put her at okay. There's not much to say about her. She's a squishy mage with a shit ton of damage, so just don't get touched by her damage, I guess. Moving on, we got Trundle. Trundle is going to be in between hard and medium. I'm probably gonna put him in the... No, I'm gonna put him hard. His pillar kind of counters Vlad. You can't pull his pillar. Nope, you cannot. I've tried it. Trust me, doesn't work. It's gonna slow you, he's gonna chase you, he's gonna smash you, and he's gonna kill you. So, it's a pretty hard matchup. The reason why I wouldn't put it at worst is because you kind of counter his kit. Like, you kind of just burst him down before he can really do anything to you. So if he's stupid enough to pillar you late game, you just one-shot him. Alright, next we got Twitch. Twitch is gonna be in the medium. If Twitch cheeses Vlad, you're gonna burn a flash. There's nothing you can do. But if he power farms, he can kind of put in work, but overall not really. He's just kind of a 80 carry, obviously. I'm just putting him at medium because I've gotten cheesed so many times by Twitch jungle and lost my whole entire lane because of it. Next we got Udyr. This is probably an okay matchup as well. Just space properly. There's nothing else to say about this guy. There's a reason why this guy needs a rework. It's because he's such a bland kit. As long as you space, you can beat him easily. Vi, we're also gonna put at a okay. You counter her kit so hard. She press R, just press W. She press Q, I believe, her charge thing. You can either dodge it, because it's super easy to dodge, or press W. Super easy. You one-shot her as well at almost every stage of the game. Volibear is definitely a... I'm gonna put it at a hard. No, I'm gonna put him at a medium. You can pull his charge thing, his Q, where he's running at you like a madman, but after you exit your pool, he has a shit ton of damage. Like, don't underestimate Volley's damage. It's ridiculous how much damage he has. So, I'm gonna put him at a medium for the fact that he really packs a punch in his claws, man. All right, next we got Warwick. Warwick's gonna go at the medium. This is because Warwick obviously his what is it? His fear, I believe. His ease, his fear. Okay, I don't need Alienware update. His fear is pretty obnoxious, but you can pull it, and his R is kinda hard to pull. If you don't have good reaction time, it's pretty hard to pull his R. It's pretty instantaneous, and whenever he Rs you, he's gonna chunk you down, and obviously it kinda acts like a Malzahar R or a Skarner R, where you're just kinda stuck in place, and enemies can pummel you down. And he can chase you really hard with his blood hunt. So if you're low after getting a kill, Warwick is 100% ready to clean you up. Even if you're under turret, it doesn't matter. If you used everything to get a solo kill, he's gonna clean up. So many times it happened to me. So definitely a medium to hard area. Alright, next we got Zen Zhao. So Zen Zhao will definitely be going towards the okay side of things. Um, just don't let yourself get touched by him, and you literally just kite the fuck out of him and one-shot him, honestly. Super easy. His kit is so obvious, and he's a all in or nothing type champ, so if he goes all in, he's too close to you, so you can one-shot him, and if he doesn't come, you can also chase him down and pretty much kill him, so definitely an okay interaction for sure. Alright, our last champion. Glad we can end it on a worst slash hard. We're gonna put him in a worst just because I want to, because I hate Zac. But Zac is that champion that is so obviously broken that Riot just doesn't want to fix. It's ridiculous. Fun fact, I played against a Zac today. I'm not gonna show any evidence, but he did 3/4 of my HP while I was 4 levels above him. And he was full tank. Just process that. This isn't even about Vlad, this is about the champion. I just hate the champ. So much fucking damage with CC. When a champion has that much CC potential and that much engage without much outplay, and did I say that much damage? I think I did, but we'll say it again. With that much damage, so much damage, it's kind of hard to dodge his ganks and dodge his abilities. Like, you can dodge his leap in, you can dodge his throwing goo hands. I don't know the names of the abilities, but at the end of the day, he's not gonna die, and he's probably still gonna kill you with his R, his setup. So overall, this is horrible. Personally, granted, I do a pretty good job of sitting next to turret whenever I'm facing against a Zac or just tracking him down. But in general, even late game, this champ, man. There you guys have it. That is my tier list. We like to do the zoom out for the finish. Actually, I don't need to show that. By the way, this is my tag because I didn't know what to title champions that aren't junglers. But let's zoom in to all of the jungles. If you guys realize something, the only freeload champ is Amumu. I'm sorry, I had to do it. Alright, Amumu's crying, I know. Amumu just, he's there. He's kind of a champion that's just there, you know? You don't see him get played too much, but when he's played, he's kind of inting his ass off. Super free low, honestly. And especially for Vlad, this is just such a free game. I'm literally welcoming this champion to my lane. It's so free. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, comment down if you guys would like to see another tier list. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all have a great day. Chen Chen out.